2017, December 26th, Tuesday. Here's a tour of my house. It's Boxer Day. This is the carport. And we had a basketball hoop here long ago. Probably 91 or maybe before that. And I was like 5 years old or maybe before that with my older siblings. And this is only about 5 or 6 feet. But long ago we were a lot smaller. And so this is the shed. We put a lot of stuff in here. I had a room in here some years ago. My older sister had a room in here too. I'm a little bit like my older sister in a few ways. And this is the Jeep of Robin Baker. And then there's the car of the other roommates in my old room, the front room. The other people, 2 other people, Jamie Dawson and who's her name? This is the backyard. We used to have a what do you call it? Another shed here. We built it about 20 years ago or so, probably around 95. I was about 10 years old. I put a lot of nails in the boards. We were making it, me and my brother and my dad. This is the backyard. We had a tree here, like a peach tree. This is the apple tree. We used to have a lot of stuff here. I tried to build tree houses. I tried to build, I tried to build a house here one time. We did a lot of different things. We had a lot of different things here. And we made some movies here, like the Power Rangers in '96. Like a parody of the Power Rangers, because I love the Power Rangers. And also Red Dog and Gangster Run in 2001. A few months before 9/11. This is our neighbor Mike Vanderzenden. And so this is just a little bit of a tour of my house. The house that I grew up in this small city of Forest Grove, Oregon, USA. It's a small city. It's about 40 miles from Portland. It's about 40 miles west of Portland. I always would say 20. I always thought it was 20, but apparently it's around 40. And you can see the skirting, the girding, the brown part. It's new, and I think the park management told my dad he had to replace it. So this is the replacement. He had to replace the old one, the metal silver one, and it was getting old and stuff. And so he did that with some help probably some years ago. It's 2017 right now. I was born in '85, and we've had this trailer since about '83 or '84. So the trailer is older than me. I'm 32, so the trailer is like 33 or 34 years old, and that might be a little too old. Not old for a castle or something. Not old for a really good house, but for a trailer, maybe. This is the backyard. I mean, not the backyard, but this is behind our backyard. And there's been a lot of different, probably a few different factories behind our house. And we have a train track over there near the buildings that goes all the way to Hillsborough, goes towards Portland, and it probably connects to other train tracks that goes all over America. And we had a set here. We had another, a thing for putting things in, and we probably had to tear it down some years. I mean, my dad did, probably when I was in Vietnam for 5 years. And I really love Vietnam, Vietnamese people, and I probably might go back. We had like a small clubhouse here, like a small shed thing here. This is our tree, like a maple tree. It's getting really old. I wanted to show you. We had a little bit of snow or frost for Christmas Day and Christmas Eve on Sunday. Sunday and Monday, a little cold, a little icy, a little frosty, you can see. And this is our tree, and you can see like the bark coming off of it. There's green stuff growing off of it. What do you call the green stuff again? And used to climb it. We had a lot of branches on here that was cut off. My dad cut off a lot of branches off, and maybe that's for the best. It's called pruning or something. And there's a dog barking. If you don't know, there's a dog. This has what do you call it? Girding at the bottom. That was added to. This is a what do you call it? A Porsche that was made by our church around 99 or 2000, and it's still there. That was good. We have had a lot of different lawnmowers. I was doing some raking probably a week after I came back from Vietnam. I came back on Thanksgiving Day 2017, and so the leaves were waiting for me. We used to be apple trees here, and they were knocked down. But my mom used to make apple pie, and so I would pick up the apples. Around Thanksgiving time is when most of them are finished falling, the apples, and you pick them off of the ground, or you take them off the branches. We mostly just picked it off the ground, and I had to put it inside the green recycling bin. That green recycling bin, something like that, and then my mom would just cut off all the bad parts and make apple pie out of the rest of the apples, and I really do like apple pie. And we had an interesting apple pie yesterday, and we had some food like potatoes and stuff, and for Thanksgiving Day with the people in my house, my dad and the other people. So this is a little bit of a tour, and I told you a little bit about my house. And so I grew up living in the front room with the big window, me and my brother. My older sister had the room for a little bit, probably in the 80s, but then she had the other room, and me and my brother shared the room during the 90s. Then my brother went off to college in 2000 in Oklahoma to learn about engineering, things like engineering, aeronautics, things like that. And my brother got married 2007 or so, and he has a family like in Oklahoma, maybe in Texas too. Does a lot of traveling, or did some traveling, probably a few different countries, went to Honduras. My two sisters went to New York some years ago. My mother got remarried two times, but she's married again, and so my mom's in Washington State, my dad is in Oregon, and my sisters are in other places. Not exactly sure, maybe Iowa, not totally sure. But this is the neighbor, Mike. And Mike has been here almost the whole time too. I mean, he's been here the whole time, but he came here a few years after us. That includes maybe other people too, including the house next to the dog. That would be Jesse, and so some people call this place the ghetto. This is the day after Christmas, 2017. I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold, and I've been doing a lot of thinking, especially yesterday. I've been mostly in my room. Yesterday, didn't have any internet, didn't have any Wi-Fi, so I was feeling kind of alone a lot, but also good at times too. And I had a lot of time for reflection. You know, this house, my older sister knew the girl here. What was her name again? Allison or something? But sometimes it's really good to have some reflection, and that's why camping is really good. I was a camp counselor for like 5 years at different camps, like Word of Life camps, Salvation Army camps in New York, California, Oregon. And that's really good. And it's really good. I mean, what I'm saying is it's really good to get out sometimes. It's good to do some walking in the morning. That's why, like, old people do it. Old people do that, and it's really interesting. So I've been feeling kind of emotional at times, especially yesterday. And I think about the choices I make. I think about that, and I think about whether or not I made the right, like, decision to come back to America. And I have to try to remind myself, you know, what I'm trying to do, and sometimes, like in your life, you have to think about that too. Whoa, ice! I almost slipped on ice. I caught myself. Interesting. Sometimes you're gonna slip up in life, just like I did. Practically, literally, physically speaking, but metaphorically, spiritually, emotionally, politically, social-politically. In other ways, you may slip up too. Pun intended. Yeah, I intend the pun. But yeah. So this is me just talking, blabbering. I'm ranting and stuff, venting, whatever you want to call it, having a good time or bad time or good time, and giving you a tour. This is the mailbox. Used to be different long ago, but they redid it. One of them is ours. Which one? 163 would be ours. This is the one it's ours. Is 163. If you don't see it, 163. So that's the one we grew up in. There used to be American flag, an old guy right here, but he must have died or something, and now there's some, like, Mexicans living there. There's a homeless person with a cart or something. Maybe not a homeless person. What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying, but I kind of know what I'm saying. But I've been watching videos that I download from YouTube, mostly YouTube, and like from I've been watching an 8-hour video of a Christmas spectacular where the guy interviews all these other really interesting people and some beautiful women too, some other celebrities, internet celebrities, YouTube stars, you know, people who have like podcasts and stuff, and he's like talking to people for 8 hours. I mean, it's just a bunch of videos stuck together and then you know, put onto YouTube, and I downloaded it and I'm watching it in my room during Christmas Day, mostly at night, and while I was trying to go to sleep last night, and you know, the guy I'm talking about is Stefan Molyneux. How do I say his name? So he's the guy from Free Domain Radio, and he's really, really interesting, and he's the guy that talks about politics, and I mean, not just politics, I mean, mostly he talks about like relationships, psychology, you know, how to think about it, how to deal with like conflicts and problems in relationships, mostly relationships, but that's the most important thing anybody can talk about. So I was doing a lot of that, and I've been doing some thinking and watching some basketball games, some NBA basketball games, Christmas Day with my dad and some of the other people in my house, and that was good. Good a little bit when I was listening to some of the conversations that they were having too with each other about life, about what they do, and about me a little bit. And it's a little bit hypocritical sometimes, a little bit paradoxical for them to say things like Joe needs to work, but it's okay for us to get hundreds and hundreds of dollars off welfare and food stamps and the what do you call it, the credit card companies, you know, getting all these credit cards and getting all these, you know, SSI and Social Security, you know, so that's what, so I mean, Social Security, that's what SSI is. I mean, the money from the government, you know, and they talk about, you know, like my dad and his friends, like they talk about gambling, you know, putting hundreds of dollars into the poker scene, and you know that people have freedom, so people can do whatever they want, but you know that gambling is not really a good idea if on one hand you say, you know, I can do whatever I want, I can waste money and stuff, but on the other hand you tell other people, well, you know, you need to help me because I don't have any money. Oh yeah, because I was gambling. But it's a little bit hypocritical. I mean, obviously people have the freedom to think and believe whatever they want, whatever, but there should be some consequences sometimes in some situations. I'm not being clear on what I'm talking about at the moment if you don't already know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to say a lot without saying anything, but I'm trying to introduce you to a few things. I'm gonna try to make some more videos today and maybe do a live stream stuff. It's the morning of Tuesday. It's the 26th of December 2017, and I just went by the manager office of the trailer park, and I'll try to keep you posted, and I'll try to tell you more about what I'm talking about and everything, about conversations that I've heard and other things. And I'm Oatmeal. Have some oatmeal. Eat more oatmeal. Take care.